Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer State. This is Coloring Bliss. I've got sweet little Rose here with me. Are you waiting for a treat? I think she's waiting for a treat. Yeah? Okay. So today we're going to talk about something that seems relatively basic and maybe a no-brainer, but it is a very important skill that we're going to learn together today. First, Rose needs a treat. Can you stand up? Stand up? Up? No? Do you want to shake? How about shake? Oh, you can do better than that. Shake? Oh, good girl. Good girl. She doesn't stand up quite as much anymore because of her injury that she had a couple months ago, but ever so often she'll do that trick for me. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the right way to hold a color pencil. And there's a couple different holds I'm going to teach you, and one specific thing that is super important when it comes to coloring and holding a color pencil. So let's get started. So what do you think, Steve? Is there a right way to hold a color pencil?
I don't know.
Is there a wrong way to hold a color pencil?
Well, I'm sure you could come up with some crazy way to hold it.
When you first start learning and studying drawing, there is a lot of different ways to hold the pencil, and they have names for each hold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in the drawing world, there are correct ways to hold the pencil. In the coloring world, we are much more relaxed. We have, there's no wrong, no right, although there is one wrong way that I'm going to teach you that is you're just going to be so glad you know this. So I'm going to grab a color pencil from this set. These are my Scholars here. Let's go for blue since I've got Steve here. That's his favorite color. Okay, so I have a blue Scholar Prismacolor pencil here, and the thing I want to talk about is basically it's the proper way to hold a pencil when you're writing is usually how people hold pencils. But there is a second grip. We're going to call these grips. So this I'm going to call grip number 1. It's the primary grip that we do all the time. It's what we're most comfortable with. It's why color pencils are so natural in our hands, because you get to just hold it the same way you were taught when you were learning how to write words and letters and cursive, all that good stuff. The second hold that I use quite often is this hold right here, and I can't remember the proper name. There is a name for this grip, but this grip is fantastic for covering long, large, big areas. You can use the side of your pencil. You get a different texture when you color like this, and see how fast I covered an entire area. So it's a really good grip to try if you haven't ever tried it. Let me show you from the other direction too how it's held in my hand, just like that. It's nothing, so we go for position 1, which is the way most of us are very used to holding our pencil, to position 2, which is holding it this way. I wish I remembered the names. The reason I don't remember the names is because when I was studying how to hold a pencil, I thought it was kind of silly. So I never made note of it, the actual name. So comment below if you know the technical art term for how I'm holding the pencil. Now, this other direction of holding the pencil, the position number 1, is fantastic for tiny little coloring. It can be good for large strokes as well, but there is one fatal flaw with this, the position 1, and it can apply to position 2, but not quite so much, because grip number 2, we're not used to this grip, so it feels different in your hand, and you're a little bit more conscious of how you're holding the pencil. Grip 1, position 1, because we're used to this one, we tend to do the one thing that I think is wrong about holding a color pencil.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Death grip.
The death grip. And I think when we all first start coloring, we all fall into death grip.
Yeah, I do. I know that when I've tried coloring, my hand gets tired really fast.
Yeah, so let me show you the difference between a relaxed grip and the death grip.
You're shaking.
I'm really over exaggerating, but I'm not, because sometimes when we're coloring, you're putting down a lot of pencil color and you're pushing hard. That's called burnishing pressure, because you're trying to push the color into all the hills and valleys of the paper. That's called the tooth or the texture. And a color pencil can be difficult to get into every single bit of that texture. You either do it by lots of layers with a very sharp pencil, or you do this burnishing, which we're talking about, where you hold it typically in position or grip 1, and then you go in and you, oh look, I even broke the tip. And you can see how my fingers are turning red in some parts and white in some parts. So if you're holding your pencil and you're death gripping to get that burnishing pressure done, then that's where we've got a problem. Because if you have any sort of hand issues, pain, even if you have the most healthy hand in the world, that death grip is going to dramatically shrink the amount of coloring you can do, because you're going to get worn out, you're going to get cramps, you're going to get, look at my finger. See how it has a bump on it now from pushing that? And I only colored that long. Can you imagine if I was burnishing on an entire page? So in my opinion, and I think you're all going to agree, the death grip is wrong, because it's going to make it so you can't do your coloring, and you're probably going to avoid color pencils. So how do we counteract the death grip? Like I said, if you have a really sharp pencil, that tiny little tip can get down into those textures a lot easier. So that's tip 1 to avoid the death grip. The second tip is to slide your hand back on the pencil. Now, this is a training technique. It's not necessarily how you always want to hold your pencil, but the minute you slide your hand back, it becomes that odd feeling again. So in position 2, in grip 2, like I said, you naturally hold it relaxed because it's new and you're kind of concentrating. So if you take grip 1, slide it back, now it feels weird again. The balance is off from what you're normally used to. And now when you color, even if you want to do heavy pressure, I'm not holding it nearly as tight as I was before. Let me come back a little bit. So you can do all the things that you're used to, the burnishing, the light layers, all of that can be done. But if you slide your hand back, now you will be much more gentle with your grip, and you'll be better at the light layers. It's all about the light layers with color pencils, you guys. Color pencils is a very slow art medium, but the more you work with it, with your light pressure, the more you'll see that you can cover lots of areas with a beautiful color, as long as you take your time and don't death grip.
So dramatic.
Honestly, when I go into burnishing, the grip has to be more intense so that you can hold on to that pencil while you're pushing difficult. And that's why I avoid as much burnishing as possible. Now, if you want to learn all my tips and tricks about color pencils, I highly recommend you check out the link in the video description. Come on over and check out our workshops at Coloring Bliss, because I have a 4-part, very awesome workshop series that takes you from beginner to advanced, and I'm going to teach you how to color with these beautiful tools without killing off your hand, so that you can color for more hours and create more beautiful art. So come check out that link. And I highly recommend you try the 2 grips, position 1, position 2, and train yourself out of that death grip. If I can train myself out of it, so can you. So I hope this was helpful. It was just a quick little tip to get you coloring better with these beautiful, humble tools that are actually my ultimate favorite coloring tool. So we can do better. I'm going to keep working on my grip, and so should you. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful, no death grip, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.